What's the most satisfying instant karma you've ever witnessed? This happened in my gym, and I still can't believe how perfectly it played out. There's this guy named Brad who thinks he owns the place. Designer workout gear, protein shaker that costs more than my rent, and the personality of a wet paper towel soaked in arrogance. He's one of those people who loads up every machine with way too much weight, grunts loud enough to wake the dead, then leaves all his plates scattered around like confetti. But his favorite hobby is terrorizing anyone he thinks doesn't belong. New members, older folks, anyone who looks remotely intimidated by the gym environment. He'll make comments about people's form, take photos of overweight people for motivation, and generally act like the world's worst fitness influencer. Last Tuesday, this sweet elderly man named Frank started coming in, maybe 70 years old, recovering from hip surgery, just trying to do some light physical therapy exercises his doctor recommended. Super polite, always cleaned up after himself, never bothered anyone. Brad decided Frank was his new target, started making loud comments about how some people should stick to walking in the park, moved Frank's water bottle off the bench, even took a video of Frank struggling with 5-pound weights and posted it on his Instagram story with laughing emojis. Frank never said anything, just kept coming in, doing his gentle exercises, minding his own business. But I could see he was getting more and more uncomfortable. Friday afternoon, the gym is packed. Brad's doing his usual performance on the bench press, loaded with 315 pounds, making sure everyone sees how impressive he is. He finishes his set and walks away to flex in the mirror, leaving all those plates on the bar like always. Frank approaches the bench. I'm thinking he's going to ask Brad to clear his weights, which would be completely reasonable. Instead, Frank starts removing the plates himself, methodically organizing them back on the rack where they belong. Brad notices and storms over. Excuse me, Grandpa. I'm still using that equipment. Frank looks up calmly. Oh, sorry. I thought you were done since you walked away. I was taking a rest between sets. Some of us actually lift heavy weight. Frank nods politely. How many sets do you have left? As many as I want. Maybe you should try the senior center down the street. That's when Frank smiled. Actually, I think I'll just work in with you. Mind if I go next? Brad laughed out loud. Dude, there's still 315 on there. You can't even lift the bar. Frank stepped up to the bench. Let's see. Everyone in the gym stopped what they were doing. Frank laid down, gripped the bar, and pressed 315 pounds like it was made of foam. Smooth, controlled, perfect form. Then he did it again. And again. 8 perfect reps. He sat up, completely unfazed. Not bad for a warm-up. Should I add more weight? Or are you comfortable with this? The entire gym was dead silent. Brad's mouth was hanging open like a broken garage door. Turns out Frank was a retired powerlifting coach, had trained Olympic athletes for 30 years, only stopped competing himself because of the hip surgery, but his upper body strength was still absolutely ridiculous. I usually do my working sets with 405, Frank mentioned casually while loading more plates, but I don't want to intimidate anyone. Brad mumbled something about having to leave early and practically sprinted out of the gym. Haven't seen him since. Frank's become the unofficial gym mascot now. Everyone asks him for form tips, and he's the nicest, most encouraging coach you could imagine. He's helped 3 people hit new personal records and always makes sure everyone feels welcome.